before we moved in together, we talked about like getting married, and we talked about, you know, like making a life together. But I had no idea that it was going to happen that soon. Like we kind of had figured that we would move in together, see how that went for a few years. I mean,
which
obviously,
brings me to point number 2.
Obviously, it went well, but you know, you want to make sure.
Yeah, for sure. So we'd only lived together 5 months before I proposed. We'd been together over 2 years, but lived together 5 months. So then I decided that I wanted to propose, but I also decided that it should be a surprise. Now that's, I think, a big factor, right? You have to know, whoever's doing the proposing, whether you're proposing to your guy or your girl, you have to know whether that person is into surprises. Because it's a huge surprise. Yeah. If you pull it off...
I love surprises.
Yeah. But some people aren't for surprises, and they want to go out and they want to shop for the ring together, or they want to design it together.
I feel like my sister...
Yeah, totally.
My sister hates surprises. Because we had our like first official date in Chicago, we wanted to celebrate our 2-year anniversary, because it was kind of like celebrating the fact that we'd made it 2 years long distance, which is a really big deal. We're both not very big like anniversary people, but we really wanted to celebrate that.
Yep.
And so we decided to go back to Chicago and spend our anniversary around our anniversary there. That's what I thought we were doing, was just going to Chicago for a 2-year anniversary trip.
But I knew.
And we loved the city there so much.
Yeah, that's another shout out. Chicago's a great place. Check it out.
Chicago's amazing. So now I'll let Andrew kind of talk you guys through the ring.
The most important part of the video.
And yeah, pretty much. That's what it looks like.
I'm personally of the belief that this moment of tremendous gravity deserves tremendous forethought. That's my thought on this. So spend weeks on it, spend months on it. It's not like you have to have any skill at designing a ring, right? You're more of a consultant. The jeweler themselves have all the skills, and they'll be able to tell you this works, this doesn't work. You can't actually design a ring that goes like this way. It would be too fragile. These materials are good. These are bad.
You found jewelers on the blog?
Yeah, I found a place called Studio 1098. Wanted to go custom, wanted to go small, wanted to have more of an intimate feel, and I found this place. And I shopped around a little bit, met with a couple people, and it was a game changer. When I showed up at 1098, I was sat down immediately by the owner. She wanted to know, I wear like this brass bangle. She wanted to know about it, how to worn. Yeah, that's right. And she wanted to know about that. She wanted to know, she didn't ask like, what kind of ring do you want? That wasn't her first question. Her first question was like, tell me about Jill, which I thought was cool. What does she do? What does she like? What are some of the things that she wears? Who is she as a person? What does she mean to you? Which right off the bat, gave me such a good impression, right? Because right away I was thinking this is going to be a completely different experience than what I had signed up for, and I was so pleasantly surprised to find somebody who was approaching this with what I thought was the right way. So we would sit there, and initially it was a lot of things like drawings, looking up inspiration, or inspo as they say in the business, your business. And my big first question was, what color ring do I want to get? And by that, I don't mean the color of the metal, I mean the stone, because I am a huge fan of the black diamond. I know you used to like black diamonds, and then we're in and out.
We talked about it, and I had said that I really liked it, but I wasn't sure like if I was going to like it for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. And so at one point, I remember him texting me, and he was like, so... Because like we talked about getting engaged and rings and kind of stuff like that. And he was like, so do you still like the black diamond? Mm-hmm. Like, and I was like, I don't know. Like,
yeah, you were like, why does this matter?
I was like,
right
I don't need to tell you right now. And he was like, well, you know, like, do you think it's gonna like, do you think it's your taste is gonna change and you're not gonna like it? And I just remember being like, I don't know. Like, why do I need to give you this? Yeah. And it was because you were deciding on the stone, right?
Yeah, that's right. So we went back and forth for weeks, and it was kind of this like sneaky exchange we had. We had emails with weird subject headings, and we had like all these like just things that if I left my computer open and you saw an email, it was like tibial plateau fractures or like something that was medical, so that I knew you wouldn't go into it. We sent back mock-ups, and I knew I wanted Art Deco style, and I knew I wanted a a yellow gold rather than a white gold, and anyone wanted a black diamond with a white diamond halo. But there were a couple times where I was like, oh, I really like this. And she was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, let's just show you. And then she would show me a ring, what that would look like. And I was like, oh, thank you for talking me out of this.
She's really good at like seeing the final picture.
Oh my God, yes. She's got that vision, which was awesome. Because you, as a first-time ring buyer, don't have that. Next up was like molds. So I would come into the store on a given day and she would come up with the plastic mold that was actually, I don't know if you know this, was actually used to cast the ring. So I had a plastic version of the exact ring. And there's something satisfying and tangible about having it in your hand and saying, yes, I do like this. Because no matter how visual spatially gifted you are, it's hard to actually picture what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
So you feel it and you're like, yes, this is awesome. And then we talked about how to judge the stones and how to pick the stones. And basically we went back and forth for like weeks and weeks and weeks. Ultimately, picked the ring up a few days before our anniversary trip to Chicago. Walked out of the store, called the bank right away to insure it, put it in a box that told the TSA. Here's a tip: if you're flying with an engagement ring, make sure you write on the box, like put a sticker on the box that says, "Dear TSA agent, this is an engagement ring. Please do not spoil the surprise. If you have questions or want to see it, pull me aside."
I wonder how many people have been.
I don't know, but I'm sure there have been airport proposals before.
I had no idea.
Zero idea.
Nothing.
Like I said earlier, this is a day to really prove how much you care by thinking about every single detail and not doing it in a generic way and really putting your personal stamp on it, which is kind of why why I went the custom jewelry approach. I had a photographer hide in the bushes, which this was my idea, and I thought I was a genius, and I was like, can you do this? And she was like, yeah, of course we do this all the time. I took you out to breakfast, we did a photo booth that morning. He
had a whole day planned. Yeah. And like we had decided we weren't really going to do big anniversary gifts because we were doing this trip.
Well, I was doing a pretty big anniversary gift.
I thought. Because we were doing this trip,
really
which was like
under budget on that.
Yeah, which was like a gift to each other, and so we were just gonna do kind of like days of activities for each other, and so this was his day. So I didn't really think that much of like him having everything planned and it all being a surprise. So yeah, we went for breakfast.
Yep, we went for breakfast.
We did a photo booth there.
Yeah.
So then after breakfast, we went on an architecture tour on the river because. Chicago has pretty cool architecture, and it was really cold and
freezing cold.
I was not properly dressed.
It's almost like you didn't know what we were doing that day.
So yeah, I was pretty cold by the end of it, and we were going to go for lunch, and then Andrew wanted to stop into a coffee shop to like, what were you doing?
I was texting the photographer to tell her like, I'm 3 minutes away. Are you ready?
God.
Yeah. So a couple years prior, when we were first in Chicago on that first date, it was the summer. We got absolutely poured on, and we got caught under a bridge. We got
soaked.
And we had red wine, and it was just this like blissful moment where we were stuck underneath a bridge. And
it was like kind of like a movie.
So I took you there, took you back under the same bridge. I said my speech. I blacked out. No memory of the speech.
I have no memory of the speech either.
This is another tip. I recorded me giving the speech.
That's a really, because like a lot of girls that I know have said that they forget.
Yeah, it's
not because you don't care. You just.
Oh, for me, it's because I don't care.
I don't know if I remember like anything that you said. So recording it is a really good idea.
And I got down on one knee and I said, "Will you marry me?" And you said.
And I said, yes. Maybe. We like hugged and kissed, and I said yes. And then we saw Darcy, the photographer.
Shout out Darcy Demo.
Put the ring back in his pocket and we walked away like we both forgot.
Yeah, like we both forgot.
Then you opened the box.
Opened the box.
And we like put it on.
Yeah.
And
what was your reaction?
It was like, I loved it. It was like everything that I didn't know that I wanted.
Right.
It was,
I know
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I didn't know that I wanted a ring exactly like this, but now I wouldn't have had it any other way. It's like so me and it's timeless and like vintagey.
Yeah.
But like still modern and Art Deco inspired, and it's my favorite piece of jewelry in the whole world.
When you first got it, it was oversized. Obviously, I didn't know what size, and I didn't want to ask you and ruin the surprise. So it was way oversized. It was like 2 sizes too big, and you were still wearing it, and it was like constantly flying around. And I was like, and I baby it because it's kind of my baby too. And I'm like, watch out, don't hit that diamond against that pillow.
So we went in, and I was able to meet Tamara, and we got the ring sized.
And she was like, I feel like I know you already. Like,
I know, we like hugged.
She's so excited because she's seeing the person who's the recipient of this whole project.
We actually have asked her to design our wedding rings together. And so we, again, sat down with her a few times and kind of like threw around ideas. And then she's so creative. Like she just sees the final picture. So if you have an idea and you're like, how about this? She might be like, I don't think that that's what you want. And then she'll end up showing you by like drawing little things on the ring or like whatever.
And you're like,
oh yeah, sorry. So we really trust her, and it meant a lot to us that she agreed to make our wedding rings. We're getting married June.
Yep.
And I know that I haven't shared that many details yet, but we kind of want to keep things a little bit under wraps until we've actually had the wedding, because we want to find the right balance between having some things private and then sharing because I definitely want to share stuff with you guys. And I know that you've been asking quite a few questions, but I will definitely be sharing a lot of that leading up to the wedding and then after for sure, because we're excited to share more of that with you guys.
So like, subscribe, make sure you rate me, throw me the thumbs up. What else do bloggers say?
There's no rating, it's just like and subscribe.
Oh, really? Thank you all so much for following my new blog.
Your chess blog. At the end? Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that it was somewhat entertaining.
I had a good time.
If you have any more questions, just leave them in the comments below. And if we get a ton of questions, then we will do an FAQ video together. And let us know if you want us to do that as well.
Thank you very much for following my future wife's blog.
That's crazy.
Not used to saying that.
No, that's weird. Bye!
I don't know what this 3 thing is. It's